This is AC Starlord 29, and welcome to my channel. I just finished, I just came out and just finished Internals, and this movie is not a bad Marvel movie. I wouldn't say it's as good as Shang-Chi or Endgame or at least Venom. Let there be carnage. I will say that this movie's okay for me. That is, it's a good movie. It's a good movie if you like Greek, if you like the mythology of like Icarus, Athena, um, uh, and and some other different Greek gods, all that. But Athena, so Athena, Icarus, Athena, uh, and all that stuff. But like again, you follow the internals, which they've been around forever, and they can't get into human. You can't. They can't get into human. The human aspects of life. You can't. They can't change anything alternate history. They can only stop these deviants or these little monsters, these little monster things that they have. Um, they can only stop those things, and the mission was to also help us humans um, have a regular life, like the normal regular things we do, like go to jobs, have kids. I mean, get married, have kids, um, um, live our lives how we do, like jobs, get married, um, have kids. Those kids have kids. Um, um, Develop our technology that we use today, like guns, cars, iPads, iPhones, laptops, whatever. There's even an Eternal that actually does all that stuff, creates technology for the human race, and then eventually they have to get into. They eventually have to. They eventually finish their first part of the mission was, and then they go on to the regular lot. They go on to have regular lives like humans. So, and they all have different things they do. So like, one's a teacher. Um, that's in a relationship with an important character towards the end of this movie. Um, well, she doesn't know it yet, but you know. Um, Icarus, of course, if you know his story, and if you if you know his story, and if you watched Hamilton the play, and you listen to the soundtrack, they always mention Icarus flying too close to the sun. Well, I don't have to give anything out to that because, well, you will see it in the movie. Um, at some point in this movie. Anyways, Icarus doesn't really have a job. He's just out there looking for the internals when they all come back to face the threat again, and they do face the threat. One actually has an actual family. He is a he's the only internal that is gay, but he has a family nonetheless, and he's trying to protect his family. There's a little girl eternal that wants to be a human. She finally gets that wish at some point in this movie and can't give that out. What else? One of them becomes a Bollywood. One of them becomes a Bollywood star. Angelina Jolie is with the guy we all thought was Wong from Doctor Strange, which he's not. But they're on they live somewhere and they have a normal life, but he bakes and makes food, and she is just trying to be with him because she's forget Angelina Jolie's character, the goddess of war, is transitioning out from not having her memories back and forth. So she's with him, helping her remember. There's a guy that looks like Edge Miller, which he's not. Some other dude. Um, um, he has the power to make people change their minds about things, and um, Simon Hayek is the leader. Simon Hayek lives on a ranch after they do these. After they have the centuries, different go to different centuries of different time periods, like BC, before even BC, after BC, all these different things, and they fight these wars. So wars, you get in between. Well, they fight these creatures, and in between there's wars of history. So, like, they take you from present day to back when they were back in the day, BC, and also right after BC. So they take you to different time periods as well throughout this. And you do see Simon Hayek in this movie, even though her character essentially in the plot point of this is gone. Spoiler alert or whatever, but you see in this movie that, in the trailers when they cut this, you see her, but it's and plot point of the movie. But anyways, and then these creatures come back and they have to, again, fight these creatures, and then Icarus, like again, what I said earlier, he goes with the plan. He goes with the original plan, which their original plan was to have this big, huge, giant, godlike thing emerge and destroy our Earth as we know it. And of course, that means we wouldn't have the current series that's going to be Hawkeye. The whole point of this was to have this big giant sentinel kind of creature, sentinel giant thing coming coming from our Earth and destroying our Earth. So that means basically if they were going to do if they're still doing Hawkeye, but if they were going to do Hawkeye, there's going to be no Earth. They're going to put people on different Earth. So you get my point. But basically, Icarus goes with that original plan, which they were trying to, with the rest of the Eternals are trying to stop. They stop that, and well, they have to answer for their crimes later on, because one of those things are also going to judge them. There is 2 end credit scenes. I'm not going to give too much out. There's one person, like I said, was dating the new leader of the Eternals, and he becomes someone important to the second end credit scene, which is, if you are familiar with the comic books, he has a sword. He's also wears armor, and if you follow the comic books, you will know who I'm talking about, and maybe you might figure this out. But he has a sword. He has armor that's all black, and well, that's all I'm gonna say, and that's pretty much it. Like, there's another the first one's talking about have another internal character go on the internal ship, and their friends are in he knows where the rest of the friends are, and then you have Angelina Jolie. The guy looks like Ezra Miller, and they're essentially their Flash on the ship, and that's it for that. Also, their Icarus gets called Superman. Spoiler alert, but he gets called Superman. And then what other Eternals say? Oh, you want to be called Clark now? Okay, DC, you gotta put like your lawyer. You gotta put on your lawyer pants there. You get yourself a lawyer or something like that, because they're literally in this Marvel movie. They literally use the word Superman. So DC better get your best lawyer. Be like, hey, Disney Marvel, you use Superman. That's my little joke there, but yeah. That they also have a reference to Star Wars in there. You'll see it. So yeah, that's all I can give out. So and don't, and like I said, don't get attached to some. Don't get attached to, like, at least don't get attached to three characters. And one of them is a reference that I mentioned about Hamilton, and the other two. Well, one of them is, like I said, I already mentioned for the plot point. The other one I can't mention, but yeah, don't get too attached. And this is me signing out. Like and subscribe. I mean, like this and hit the like button if you like this. Hit the notification bell and subscribe because I'm gonna do Dune next, and I'm trying to finish that. But that movie's also long. This movie's also 2.5 hours. So, you know, hold on to your horses, and you have two end credit scenes that will weigh you down. But yeah, good. I mean, if you like this movie, that's good. For me, it's okay movie. I wouldn't say it's the best Marvel movie. I'll say Shang-Chi and Avengers Endgame is better than this. But yeah.